Hello, my dear friends. Today I want to talk to you about a very important thing. We all want to learn English. We want to speak English well. But how do we do that? We listen. Yes, we listen to English every day. Listening is the key. When we listen, we learn new words. We learn how to say them right. We learn how to make good sentences. Listening is like water for a plant. Without it, we cannot grow. When I was young, I wanted to speak English, but I was shy. I was scared to speak. Then one day, my teacher said, "Listen more. Listen to stories. Listen to songs. Listen to the news." So I started listening. I listened every day. And guess what? I started to speak better. I felt more confident. I was not scared anymore. One day, I listened to a story. It was about a little boy. The boy was lost in a big city. He could not speak the language. But he listened to the people. He listened to how they spoke. Slowly, he learned their words. He learned to ask for help. And soon, he found his way home. This story taught me a big lesson. If a little boy can learn by listening, so can I. So can you. We all love stories. Stories make us think. Stories make us feel. When we listen to stories in English, we learn new things. We learn how to speak like the people in the story. We learn how to use the words in the right way. A good story can stay with us forever. We remember it. We remember the words. And this helps us speak better. Think of a song you like. Think of how many times you listen to it. You know every word of that song, right? That is the power of listening. When we listen to something many times, we remember it. The same thing happens when we listen to English stories or songs. Our mind keeps the words. Our mind keeps the sentences. And then, when we need to speak, the words come out easily. One day, I met a man. He was from another country. He spoke English so well. I asked him, "How did you learn?" He smiled and said, "I listened. I listened to people speak. I listened to movies. I listened to the radio." His words were simple, but they were true. He learned by listening. And so can we. Here is a tip for you. Listen every day, even if it is for just 10 minutes. Listen to a story. Listen to a short talk. Listen to a song. Make it a habit. Like brushing your teeth every day, listen to English every day. Soon you will see the magic. Your words will flow better. Your sentences will sound nice. You will feel good. When we listen, we hear how people use their voices. We hear the tone. We hear the feelings in their words. This helps us speak with feelings too. Speaking is not just about words. It is about how we say those words. When we listen, we learn this art. I remember a friend of mine. She wanted to speak English, but she was not sure how to start. I told her, just listen. She started listening to English news every morning. At first, she did not understand much. But she did not stop. She kept listening. After some weeks, she told me, now I can understand better. I feel I am learning. She was happy, and I was happy for her. Listening is like planting seeds in our minds. Each time we listen, a seed is planted, and with time, these seeds grow. They grow into words. They grow into sentences. They grow into beautiful English. So, do not worry if you do not understand everything at first. Keep listening. The seeds will grow. I once read a quote, "The more you listen, the more you learn." This is so true for learning English. The more we listen, the more words we learn. The more ways to speak we learn. And soon, speaking English becomes easy for us. Let me share another memory. There was a boy in my class. He was very quiet. He never spoke in English. One day I asked him, "Why are you so quiet?" He said, "I do not know the words." I told him, "Start listening to English stories. Start with easy ones." He listened. And he listened more. Slowly, he started to speak. He said, "I know more words now. I can speak better." This made me believe even more in the power of listening. Sometimes we think we need to study grammar to learn English. But that is not true. Grammar is important, yes, but first we need to listen. When we listen, we hear how words are put together. We hear the right grammar in use. Our mind learns without us even knowing. Think of a baby. A baby does not know grammar, but a baby listens to its parents. The baby hears words every day, and soon the baby starts to speak. The baby learns by listening. In the same way, we can learn English by listening. Listening also makes our mind active. When we listen, our mind is working. It is thinking. It is trying to understand. This makes our mind sharp, and a sharp mind learns faster. When I was young, my grandmother used to tell me stories. She told them in English. At first, I did not understand much, but I loved her voice. I loved how she told the story. So, I kept listening. Slowly, I started to understand. I started to learn new words. And today, I still remember those stories. I remember the words. This is the magic of listening. We all have our own way of learning. Some like to read. Some like to write. But I believe listening is for everyone. It is easy. It is fun. And it is powerful. Think of it like this. When you listen to English, you are putting English in your mind. And when you speak, you are taking it out. So to speak well, you need to put in a lot. You need to listen a lot. Here is another tip. Do not just listen with your ears. Listen with your heart. Feel the words. Feel the emotions. This makes learning more real. It makes it stick in your mind. When you feel something, you remember it better. I know a man who learned English by listening to radio shows. He loved listening to people talk. He loved their stories. He would close his eyes and just listen. He told me, I feel like I am there with them. I feel their words. Today he speaks English so well. And he always says, listening is my secret. So, my friends, start today. Start listening. Make it a part of your life. Make it fun. Do not think of it as hard work. Think of it as a journey to speak better, a journey to understand better. Sometimes, when I listen to a story, I close my eyes. I imagine the scene. I see the people in my mind. I hear their voices. This makes the story come alive, and it helps me remember the words better. You can try this too. It is a fun way to learn. Every time we listen, we are one step closer to speaking better. Every time we listen, we learn something new. So, keep listening. Keep learning. And one day you will speak English like a pro. Remember this quote, listening is the beginning of understanding. If we want to understand English, we must first listen. We must listen with care. We must listen with love. When we listen, we also learn the rhythm of the language. We learn how fast or slow to speak. We learn when to pause. We learn when to stress a word. This makes our speech more natural. Think of a dancer. A dancer listens to the music. The dancer feels the rhythm. Only then can the dancer dance well. In the same way, we must listen to English to speak it well. One day, a little girl came to me. She said, I want to speak English like you. I asked her. Do you listen to English stories? She said. No, I told her. Start listening. Start today. Listen to one story every night. She did. And soon she started to speak better. She was happy, and I was happy for her. Listening also makes us understand the culture behind the language. We learn how people think. We learn what words they use when they are happy, sad, angry, or excited. This makes us not just speak the language but feel it. I have met many people who learned English just by listening. They did not go to big schools. They did not have special teachers. They just listened. They listened with interest. They listened with an open mind. Listening is free. We do not need to buy it. We just need to do it. We have stories, songs, news, and talks all around us. We have so many ways to listen. We just need to start. I hope you see now why listening is so important. I hope you feel inspired to listen more. Remember, every time you listen, you learn. And learning is a beautiful journey. So, let's keep going. Let's keep listening. Let's keep learning. The more we listen, the better we become. The more we listen, the more confident we feel. I will stop here for now. But this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Keep listening, keep growing, and keep shining.